actually came here to taste my favorite dumplings in Vancouver. I know it looks like a food court and like you may think like that they don't have good food, but this is like some of the best northern Chinese food I think in the city. I'll put all the info down in the description, but I just wanted to come taste their dumplings before we make dumplings today. Boiled chive dumpling that is just so good. It's got like thick skin and they're not soup dumplings, but they have like a bit of liquid inside them. If I could even get them to half as good as these ones, I'll be happy. We're gonna grab some groceries, go home with this like fresh in our minds, what it tastes like. I'll see you guys at home.
Never see it, no. Jump into the OD and fucking speed it. Yeah, running all the lights on guard, I don't like shit. Take a blade and I'm cutting out the lights, bitch. Not okay, I'm a demon when the light hit. It's okay, I'm a demon, but she like it. Never tame with the wolves and the dogs. In the woods with the blade in the dark. Back in on my eyes in the cars. Never change.
All right, we're back in the kitchen. Those dumplings were so good today. If you guys live in Vancouver, like I actually highly recommend going to that place. I know it's in a food court, but it is like psycho good. They do like this boiled dumpling there that has tons of chives in it. It's like really refreshing. I've noticed that they cut the chives quite big and that just that they're boiled, the skin is a little bit thicker, almost pierogi like, but like then seasoned like northern Chinese style. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and recreate the texture more importantly. I'm gonna do mine with potato and chive. There's just 2 potatoes in here, 2 russet potatoes. I rinsed them twice. I cooked them till they're super soft. You couldn't hear that car revving up right there. A tablespoon of sesame oil in here as well. It's like basically mashed, right? Like it doesn't need to be like a perfectly whipped potato for this. It's dumpling. So then I'm gonna add some cabbage. Is gonna be my other vegetable. And I'm gonna slice this pretty thin. And this is Napa cabbage or su choy. I'm gonna put this in here. And then, yeah, chives. So definitely what I noticed is they cut their chives quite big and you really taste them. So I'm gonna use this entire pack of chives and I'm just gonna cut them maybe like an inch. And that's basically our vegetables. So for starters, we're gonna season all that with salt. There's potatoes in there, and I think I've mentioned many times before, potatoes do take quite a bit of salt. Tablespoon of MSG. To make them real good, you know. And then I have some Chinese 5 spice here as well. Do about a tablespoon of that. And then some fresh ginger. When you grate it this way, you don't have to worry about peeling it. So honestly, probably the best bet is just gonna be to do this by hand. Wear gloves if you're squeamish or whatever. I don't know, do people trip on that?
It's just you and me.
It's just us. We've had a lot more than just hands in each other's mouths. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kim's mom, I know you're watching. Now I'll go in with the fork and just pretend I was doing it like this the whole time. Movie magic. I'm just gonna check my seasoning and make sure that this tastes good enough for me. It's good, it's really good. Fingers are gonna go many places today. Okay, so these are dumpling wrappers. You can make these if you're an overachiever or something. In that last dumpling video, I showed, I don't know what they're called, but I showed like the spaceship dumplings. But they do theirs at the place we were just at, very kind of pierogi style. So I'm gonna do them all that style. So I'm gonna make sure that, you know, you wanna put as much as you can in while still being able to close it. And then you wanna wet the sides. Anytime I wrap dumplings, I just have a cup of water here I can dip my finger into. Get a little bit of stick. And yeah, so then you just wanna close the top. And then I do one side at a time usually, just so that I can make sure all that air is out. Make sure you tuck all the ingredients in. And you want, it's really hard to pick up on camera, I'm sure, but you want there to, like, see how there's a little chive right here? We don't want that, because that will not seal properly. We really want like no food in this sealed part, so that it stays closed while it cooks. Before you seal completely, you can always like check and see if you found any air, and you can work it out. And then, yeah, this one's like good. So yeah, I'm gonna do about 6. We honestly ate quite a bit of dumplings today, so we're just gonna keep it chill with 6, and we're gonna share 3 each. Dumplings are time consuming, but I will say anytime you make dumplings for someone, first of all, they really appreciate it. They do find it impressive, and I think it's like, it's a relatively easy thing to do. It is time consuming, but you know, trying to show someone you love them or something, you want to make some dumplings, it's kind of a nice thing to do. Also, it's a really great thing to do if you're cooking with someone, because you guys can kind of tag team the amount of work it is. Okay, all 6 are done. So I'm gonna get these into boiling water. Everything in here is cooked. I mean, other than the cabbage, but these won't take long. You just basically we're cooking the dumpling wrapper and making sure everything's warm through. And while they cook, like, you just wanna make sure that they hopefully don't open up and that they don't stick to each other, but you don't wanna move them around too much because they're kind of delicate, right? So yeah, we'll let those cook. I'm gonna say probably 4 or 5 minutes, somewhere around there. I drained them kind of, and I'm gonna put them on the plate. And I'm gonna do these kind of how I did the last dumplings. I just like to dress them on the plate. When you go for dumplings, anyone who goes for dumplings often knows that you usually just dip it in whatever sauce they have. Sometimes it's vinegar, sometimes it's a blend of vinegar and soy sauce. I like to just do it all on the plate so there's no dipping. I can just eat it right off the plate. And I think it looks nice too. We did a good job wrapping. None of them opened up. What you will always find when you go for dumplings is they will give you a lot of, I mean, most places will usually only give you this, which is just a Chinese black rice vinegar. A lot of times it'll be called Chiang Kang, which I'll write right here so you know what to look for at the store. This stuff's amazing. It's not too vinegary, like it's not too acidic, and it's like, it resembles rice more than the other rice vinegar for sure. So I'm just gonna put like a healthy dose of that on. And I really like to cut my vinegar a little bit with soy sauce, depending on who you talk to. Some people will say this is a no, some people say this is a yes, but I think it tastes better. Tons of fresh scallions. Freshen it up a little bit. Fresh pea shoots as well. Just a little bit of my chili oil here. If you guys don't know about my chili oil, I sell it every once in a while on Instagram. I make jars of this. It's like a Chinese Szechuan style. Very traditional Chinese spices in it. Moment of truth though. Are they as good as R&H? I know these chopsticks are just fucked up long. I hate using these things. Okay, they're super, super good. They taste nothing like R&H. They just don't. It tastes nothing like, they don't taste nothing like it, but like, it's not, they just don't have the texture. They're good, they're seasoned perfectly. They're amazing if I didn't eat R&H today, to be honest, but they're like, they really are so good. They're just masters of their craft, you know, and think I can just waltz in and make a better dumpling. They're so, so good though. Like the seasoning is perfect. It's like perfect amount of vinegar to soy for me. That's like very much how I like to eat dumplings. The herbs, like the pea shoots and the scallion, freshen it up. It doesn't make it feel so heavy. I would rate these like pretty high, but just maybe wasn't. I didn't get the texture that they can get at R&H, but shout out to R&H. They're like one of the best. So yeah, that's it for the video. If you do ever make any of the food, I know I've said this a million times, but like I really do appreciate if you just send me a photo on Instagram. I just like to see that like what we're doing is working and that people are engaging more, because that's the whole goal of this channel, is just like for people to get involved in their own kitchen. Just appreciate anyone who watches, period. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.